Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've done a video, hasn't it? Quite. So, I would like to talk to you guys real quick about psychological horror. And, yeah, I don't even know why I did that kind of intro for a second. If you guys have not seen the new Joker movie yet, you're missing out big time. It is an amazing masterpiece. Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor. I loved him ever since he did the work in Gladiator as Commodus. He was an amazing villain in that. And he's even a more amazing villain. Sorry, I kind of got tongue twisted for a second. As Arthur, aka the Joker, in the Joker movie. He plays the role of a guy who, Arthur plays the role. He plays the role of Arthur, who is a guy who is completely down on his luck. He's trying to be a successful comedian. Doesn't get him anywhere really. He ends up having serious issues with relationships. Just trying to fit in society. He gets walked on real easily. He starts getting depressed, and this is kind of where I wanted to go with this conversation, is that there really are no really good psychological horror games. You've got Outlast 2, but those to me aren't really psychological horror. Psychological horror is what goes on in your mind. Let's think, for example. What I mean by that is your mind can conjure up things that may not even be there. For example, if you walk down a dark corridor or a dark alleyway or a haunted house, for example, or what you perceive to be a haunted house. Again, perception is everything. Perception means what you believe, but what may not actually be. So let's say you walk down a dark alleyway. You can perceive a ghost or a demon just from hearing sounds in your head or hearing sounds that are around you, because of what you've perceived in the past or what you've heard in the past. That's perception. The same thing can be said for horror games with psychological written in the name. Psychological horror is basically the horror that your mind creates, or the horror that comes from the mind. It is, in turn, psychological. Now, that basically comes back to the movie because Arthur, aka the Joker, gets a different type of Joker sort of analysis or creation than what we're normally used to. Normally what it would be is that the Joker falls into a vat of green liquid that ends up frying his brain and making him cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, essentially. In this situation, it's more dealing with mental health, and that's what really blows my mind, is how well this movie actually told the story of somebody who's actually having a mental crisis, and how everyone ignores him, and everyone's basically saying, get over it, basically. You can't get over it. I mean, this takes place back in the 80s, the plot does, so it's a little different than modern day, but still. Imagine a video game where your character is playing the role of a high schooler who just graduated, going to college. You're feeling that excitement, that sense of overwhelming, just not just excitement, but also adventure, enthusiasm, interest in life itself. You want to become, say, entrepreneur, a philosopher, a business manager, a biochemist, something like that. All of a sudden, your life plummets. Your girlfriend or your fiance or whatever, it starts cheating on you. You start feeling depressed a little bit because, you feel like, why would she pick somebody else over me? I thought I was good enough for her or him or whatever floats your boat, I guess. Your parents or family dies in a car crash, hypothetically, or something of that nature where you have an immediate family crisis on your hands. Maybe somebody is, I don't know. I don't want to say anything I don't know. But something of that nature, and you feel like all of your friends have gone. You try to make friends in society, but just like modern society, they judge you. They say you're not relevant enough, you're not cool enough, you don't have enough followers or things like that, which to me, fuck that. If I ever heard somebody say that shit to my face, I'd probably punch them in the face. Because if I'm not relevant enough for you, then you've got some serious mental issues yourself you need to deal with. But I don't advocate violence, by the way. But just saying, imagine something like that where you feel like, you're playing the role of what you believe to be a great character, a good person, a protagonist who's having friends and whatnot. All of a sudden, your life hits a plummet. It hits rock bottom. And you start feeling just darkness. I'm not gonna lie, I felt darkness. I felt depressed. The void of depression is just a black hole that never feels like it ends. I've wanted to kill myself before. I've wanted to end my life. Luckily I didn't, because my family, my little brother, that's what got in my head. I've had people say that I'm nothing, that I'm worthless, that I'm a piece of shit, everything else in the book. It hurts. It hurts a lot. I've watched somebody send me a video one time, a girl who I was interested in and who I was nearly dating, send me a video of her with another guy doing stuff. And, I mean, needless to say, I was not happy. I was not in any way wanting to talk to anybody. I was depressed. I've lost a job, things of that nature. It sucks. I've quit my job. It sucks. You feel like depressed. You feel like you just want to sleep all day, like you just want to sit around and do nothing and avoid people, avoid all possible contact with society. But in this movie and in real life, there are some situations where, well, in the Joker movie, where eventually people start pushing you down so much that eventually you can't go down any further and you've got to stand your ground. You've got to stand back up. And in this case, Arthur just snaps. He goes from trying to, be friendly to people to all of a sudden his misery he can put onto others and make others feel the same amount of misery he does, or the same amount of pain that he does, and that makes him happy. It makes him laugh. He is getting a sadistic feeling out of causing others misery the way others have caused him misery. And that's my idea for a game. What if we were to really make a project that tells the story of what we believe to be a good guy who ends up turning into this horrible person because of what society's done to him? He's tired of being walked on. He's tired of being ignored, being hated, being felt like he's nobody, like a second-rate person, like a nothing to people. What if we made a project that was like that, real psychological horror? And not to make fun of mental, or not to, do anything that's wrong to the mental society, or, mental illnesses and things of that nature, because mental illnesses are not a laughing matter. I have a form of autism called Asperger's. I would never make fun of mental illness. But I am saying that if it was done correctly, like the movie The Joker did it, then it would be an amazing project, amazing video game. And I think that would be something to look forward to. I don't even care if I voice acted in it. I would just love to play a project that's like that. It would be amazing to actually star, or just to, watch a movie or play a game or animation or live play or whatnot. That's, similar to the Joker movie, or just tells a story of real psychological horror, showing a project that can do mental illness correctly and show real horror aspects. I would like to know what you guys actually think of that idea. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe, guys, and be sure to just let me know your thoughts of what I actually talked about, if you guys would be interested in something like that, or is it stupid. Thank you guys, and have a good day.